So good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another album review of The Shield on a Couch. Tonight, I'm joined by Señorita Sabrosura again. How are you, Señorita?
Good, and you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm back from my trip to Puerto Rico.
Do you have a good time?
Yes. Yeah,
Nice.
I didn't want to come back. But we're here today to talk about an album that came out last Friday, and it's the band Yeah Yeah Yes. And the album is called Cool It Down. And here we
Yes.
have the cover of the album. So Yeah Yeah Yes, for people that don't know, is a indie rock band that I think came out like in 2002, 2003, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yeah,
remember,
the early 2000s.
yeah, I remember the first album had that great hit Maps, which was the first song that made them popular. They're a band, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're from New York, right?
Yes, they're from New York.
And you know that they have that indie rock, and they have a few albums. And I think this album, there was a few years that they didn't put anything, but we're here to talk about it. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna talk about our first impressions of the album. Then we'll talk favorite tracks, and then we'll say what we thought of it after some listens and give it a rating. So I'm gonna have Señorita Sabrosura starts with what she thought of the album Cool It Down.
Well, I love Yes. I love those early albums. So I was very excited to see what they were gonna do when they announced the new album, and then I was gonna see them play live. And I listened to the album several times, and I like it, but I feel like it's something missing. Like there's like this buildup, but they never reach their full potential. I don't know if you get it. Like um I feel like it was more restrained, and it's definitely a slow burner. Like it was missing that explosive urgency that they have in their early years.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. Uh, I thought the album was missing some of that indie rock flavor. I thought it was too, what's the word, polished?
Yeah.
Yeah, too polished, too clean sounding, too much electronics, and it was missing some of the some of the indie rock vibes that they had on previous albums. So yeah, plus it's like 8 songs, but if you really think about it, it's 7 songs. But I'll go back. I'll go back
Yeah.
more into that when we talk tracks. But yeah, I think the singles were the best ones. Like it starts, the singles were good, but I think in the middle, some of the songs for me kind of like blended together, if you will.
Yeah, like I didn't know where one song start and the other one ended. Like they were blending. And don't get me wrong, it's a good album, but it doesn't feel like yes. It feels like more, like you said, polished, like very work in the studio. And it has like cool grooves, everything sings and electronic, but it has that less guitars. Like, okay, yeah, I know you want to be more mature, but you're missing your thing.
Yeah, instead of yeah, yeah, yes, they just went for the yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, like their first album, Fever to Tell, in 2003 was such a classics, and uh, I like some of their other albums. I know that they don't have a lot of albums. So they have Show Your Bones in 2006, then they had one in 2009, one in 2013. So that means they hadn't put out an album in nine
In
years.
9 years.
Wow, I wonder what they were doing.
Well, I know they were like engaged in other projects, everyone have their own side projects, and the singer Karen O, and I think I don't remember the drummer or the guitarist. They both became parents,
Oh yeah,
so they were busy with kids.
that would put a slow to it. So now let's go and let's talk about tracks from Cool It Down. What are your favorite tracks, least favorite tracks? What do you think about them?
Well, I really like, and that's what got me excited about the album. Like the first single, "Speeding Off the Edge of the World," that's a collaboration with Perfume Genius, another other band, those modern indie rock bands. Um, that I love Karen O vocals and the ending, like that cascade of sounding like the fuzzy guitars. And it was like a nice surprise after 9 years. So I thought the whole album was gonna be like this or better. And I know she said she was like trying to evoke David Bowie, but not the style, more like the approach on how to do a song.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like that song. Um, I also like Wolf and Fleece because they're very danceable. They're different in their own style, but they're very danceable. Wolf like has like a lot of synths, and then Fleece has like more heavy guitars. Like I was missing guitars in this album, and um, another one that stand out for me was like Love Bump. And I know that you said that it only has 7 songs because the last song is like a spoken word poem. That I think all the bands are doing that now because what like we were discussing and the Dead Cat for Cutie new album, he has like a spoken word song too.
Yeah, that's what I call filler. Like,
But it works. Like it's time for me because her voice like very haunting, very stripped down, like the melodies. But I don't know, like those two were the standouts for me. Like there's other songs like blended. Like oh wait, I was listening to this song trying to take notes, and then I'm in another song
yeah,
already.
yeah. I think the last song, Mars, which is like I think it's less than 2 minutes. I thought it was strange to have it
Yeah.
as an album closer. Like before that, it has different today, which is okay. You
Hmm.
know, it's there's okay songs. I wouldn't say there's except Mars. It's an ending. I thought it was a really strange way to end the album. Like, why couldn't they just write another song? Plus, after so many years away, 8 songs seems too little. Like, come on, at least make it 10. It's a 32-minute affair, so it goes by pretty quick. But I gotta say that "Spitting Off the Edge of the World" is the highlight for me.
Hmm.
I thought it was the best song. It was a great single. But if you think that the whole album will sound like that, you're gonna be for a very disappointing
Yeah.
ride because it does not. Love Bomb has there's like a little bit of a spoken word to it, but it works
Yeah.
with the song because it's like a sexy type of song. The other single, Burning, I think it was okay, but I like the Fitting Off the Edge of the World better. Uh, and Blacktop, I thought it was interesting as well.
Yeah.
An interesting song. But like you said, Fleece has a little bit of the guitar. But yeah, like I said, yeah, this album was sort of like missing that those indie rock vibes, like garage rock type of thing. And but I think Karen O's voice still sounds great. Uh, I think it sounds as good as it did when they put out Fever to Tell in 2003. But yeah, some of the songs, like you were saying, kind of like blended together. And to me, something also that this album was missing was type of like variation. I thought a lot of songs sounded very samey, and that took me except the Speeding of the Edge of the World. That one sounded like way very different because they were collaborating, and there's some scenes, but and there's some like different styles there in the song that I thought made it stand out and be a first straight track. But I think after that, like it's an album that it 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 goes like it dips a little bit for me in some of the other songs, and uh
Yeah, and
yeah,
the strange thing is that they're talking about like serious topics like the end of the world, like what happened after the pandemic, like we're not gonna have like a world for much longer with the oceans and the climate change and everything. But I feel like even if you're talking like serious stuff, like you only scratch the surface, like you didn't go deep in those issues. And that's how it
yeah,
feels the album.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, it feels like a. It feels like after so many years of 9 years, like uh maybe like I think people could be expecting more, uh and I think they could have done a little bit more. I'm not like a huge fans, but I thought this album, yeah, like like I said, it was a little bit lacking something for
Yeah,
me.
and I saw them at Riot Fest, and I was really excited to see them. Um, and then, like, she was playing like the newer songs, and people were like, "Nah, tell him." Only when she started like singing her older stuff, it exploded. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know how to say in English, but I feel like we say Perico, they were playing like a medio pocillo.
yeah, yeah. People were expecting more of the old stuff, but now let's go and say what we thought about it at the end after repeated listens and give it a score. So, Señorita Sabrosura, after listening to this album for a few days, what's your last impression and your score?
Well, like I said, it's not a bad album, but it's very short. It left me wanting more, and I feel that it was very restrained, missing that explosive yeah sound. So I have to give it like 7.
A seven. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems fair. So for me, uh, sometimes this album, there were some like songs that I thought stood out, and then some songs that I'm telling you, I forgot about them. Like they were a little bit forgettable. So if I have to give it a score, I'll go lower than you. I would give it a 6 out of 10.
6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's not good. It's
It's okay.
average. Yeah,
It's
it's an
average.
okay album. I think that
Yeah.
longtime fans might like some songs in there. Like I said, Mars as an ending was very strange, and it's short. 32 minutes. It's really a short album. Like uh, after so many years, I think they could have do a few more songs. And maybe the variation. So yeah, for me, a 6 out of 10. So and it's funny. It's called "Cool It Down." So yes, they did cool it down.
Yeah, and then and I thought like cool it down. It's a song from she got inspired. She got the name from a song from Velvet Underground from the Loaded album. I love that album, and I was like, oh, maybe she got inspired by Velvet, and we're gonna have some Velvet Underground vibes and everything. But no.
No, 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 no. We got too much Shield vibes. So we want to know from you people. What did you think about the new album, but the Cool It Down? Were you disappointed, or do you think, comment, let us know, what did you think about the album? What were your favorite tracks? We really like the discussion. And remember, if you like the content that we're putting out, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. We have more content on the way. And also, Señorita Sabrosura has her own YouTube channel where she talks more rock in Spanish and other things. So if you can spare a sub, go ahead and subscribe to her channel as well. So, Señorita, any else you would like to add before we leave?
No, not really.
Yeah. So people, we'll see you next time here on the Shield on a Couch. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch,
Señorita Sabrosura.
and we'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.